Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to continue with the half stone pattern, this time Skues style. Primrose silk again, primrose floss, mole fur, and a medium to dark done, blue done hackle. Not super dark, and some whisks for the tail. This pattern is from Silk, Fur and Feathers, which is a collection of Skues' writing in the Fishing Gazette about fly tying and fly tying materials. And the main point of the article that he writes here is another Devon pattern called the Blue Upright, and he mentions how this is only slightly different, and explains that this is a really great pattern as a nymph. And this is, beginning his thinking of how to best mimic emergence. And I think, the Halford and the dry fly purists movement is dominant now, and is really very, very popular on the chalk streams. And one of the challenges they have are bulging fish, basically fish feeding where you see a rise form, but it's not taking duns or insects on the surface of the water. It's taking them as they're emerging just below. And as we saw with Taverner's version, there's some belief here and movement that this half stone pattern, which comes from Devon, is tied with rooster hackle, hangs in the film and sort of mimics that emergence. Taverner talking about how it mimics a caddis, most importantly, but this as a beginning of an idea of how to possibly imitate emergers through fly patterns. And so is kind of an important pattern, I think, in terms of that way, and beginning some of these important people's thinkings about how to imitate emergers and nymphs. I mean, they use the word nymph general. They're talking about not only deep but also rising nymphs to emerge, and how to do that, in a way, particularly on the chalk streams, that's sportsmanlike. And so this pattern, I think, is an important part of that development. So we've wrapped the back, we put the tail on, and that's 3 fibers of same color done hackle, and then the primrose floss for the back half of the body. Skues advocates, contrary to Cutcliffe, which is sort of the master of the Devon style, he advocates tying in the feather by the root or the base, not the tip. So what we've done is tied it in, moved above the hackle to make a head, and then moved back. And now I'm going to dub the mole fur on the silk and make that mole fur thorax, and finish the dubbing at the back there, where the primrose colored body and the mole fur meet. And we're going to wind the hackle through that thorax shoulder zone. And he talks about doubling the hackle, as Cutcliffe did, as a refinement, not necessary as a beginner step here. So I'm just going to wind this on as is. Now the difference between this pattern and Taverner's is that Taverner's wanted a henny or a hen quality like rooster hackle, so a really soft one, and then to actually front that hackle section with hen, with a couple turns of the hen hackle, and no tails, so make it much softer. So now you finish here at the back and tie off. Having a little trouble here cutting that tip out, and then time for new scissors. And And then he says to brush the hackles forward using your finger and thumb and nail to get a clean area to do the whip finish. He didn't use a whip finish tool, he used his hands. But I'm going to do a back to front, so I'm finishing very close to the hackle there. Whip finish, and because I'm using primrose silk and the floss is primrose, it's kind of hidden there. And then you can varnish it. I don't tend to worry about that. You know, this is early 1900s, close to Depression era and so forth. So they are conservative. Here is the final product, and thank you very, very much. Ciao. Bye.